good afternoon, good evening, good something. Welcome. How is everybody doing today? First off, I don't even know if you can hear me or see me, and if you heard any of that intro music, because I didn't hear any of it on my end. Nothing was really playing on my end, and typically I can hear it, and I just don't know if it's the setup of how it is. So you guys tell me if you can hear me, and yes, can you hear me and see me? Welcome. Hey, everybody, how are we doing tonight? If you're new here, you're probably like, who's this charming fella, right? Or if you've been here a long time, you're probably more like, where's Matt? I kidnapped him. I did. Actually, no, I didn't. Hey, I'm Todd. Says it right there. I'm Todd. How are you doing tonight? And this traditionally has been Tuesdays with Todd. So Mondays with Matt will now be Tuesdays with Todd. And that's what we're rolling with. Tonight we're going to check in and tell you, how things are on the TRW front, where we are with things, where we are with orders. There's some really nice emails and messages coming through that really mean a lot and really help out to overcome the really mean and nasty ones. The ones where people got a lot of stuff for next to nothing and expect it to be in their hands today. We're working through it. 12, 14-hour days, 16-hour days. Philip didn't leave till 11 o'clock last night, and we're powering through all of those orders. I can see the end in sight, and it looks like everything should be wrapped up, ready to go by tomorrow, because tomorrow is moving day. We got our mover scheduled to be there at noon, so we're busting through it. I left just a short while ago to get things, so I could get here and cleaned up and changed, and because it's hot and sweaty. So we're working through those, and I know we're going to have some stuff with it, and we're going to do our best through it. But tonight, we're going to talk about, what everything looks like going forward, when lives are going to happen, what to expect on those lives, what we're going to do. And this month is going to kind of be a transition phase for all of us. You guys will get used to a new day, new time. You guys will get used to, trainings on different dates, set things for it. And we are really going to, can you mute it? Music is still playing. Oh, thanks, Pilar. Thanks. I don't know why it's not going. Why is it still going? It's not even saying it's playing on my end. Let's go find it. How about if I reset it? There. How's that? And it probably, look, and it went loud. See, when I can't hear it, that's really odd. I don't know why I did it. I don't think there's any headphones or anything hooked up to it. So I'm sorry about that. See, we're all learning and playing with this now that we got it, because it didn't even say any music was playing on it. It was just going with it. So here's how this can work. We're actually using through our third-party software. So we should be able, where everybody is, whether you're in Facebook land, and if you can, go share this over Facebook land, share it in the group, share it in the Crafting with Rhinestone group. We think we can put everything in there, and we're going to be working through that. And then we're gonna keep going through it. I will try and get through all the comments, all the questions. Let us know what you think, what you want to know, and I'm gonna try and start at the top and work through it and go get through it from there. Jeff, what happened? Matt and I came to an agreement, and we purchased the Rhinestone World. It is still wild to say that out loud. It is still wild to say that it is ours, mine and Corey's. We've been customers of the Rhinestone World for 8-10 years now, and we've been friends. We keep going from customers to friends to I really looked up to them, and we have some really big shoes to fill. And hopefully, you guys stick around for that journey. Nothing is really changing other than the location. No more Matt, you get me instead. And some of the products we're not going to carry just because they don't sell. So why move things that don't sell? So that's what's going to happen. As far as everything else, Hall of Fame staying the same, All-Stars staying the same, trainings are staying the same. We're just moving a day. Instead of being on Mondays, we're going to do them on Tuesdays. So we'll still do them on Tuesday nights. Giveaways will still happen. I'm just not sure in what aspect of it. We're working with the team to figure out the best way to handle all of those, because some of the products we're just not going to carry anymore. So it doesn't really make sense to do some of those things. So we're working through that. Like I said, this month is going to be a transition month. So we'll be able to go through it and see what we can do for it. I am really going to lean on a lot of you guys for your information, for your questions, for your answers. What do you love about TRW? What did you not love about TRW? What do you want changes do you want to be made? I'm open. Our team's open to hear your ideas and how we can do things. At the end of the day, we are here to serve you. You, the at-home apparel decorator, the one who is hustling at night, the one who is doing it between the dishes, the one who is, after the kids are going to bed, working until 2 in the morning. We were there, and there's times that we were still there. We still have an apparel decoration business. Now we're not going to do it as much with it because this is going to be our focus. This is going to be where we are, and these are things that we want to do, and we want you to know that we're in this and 100% committed to you. For those that don't know, I've offered a lot of training throughout the years. I've taught seminars. I have been on podcasts. I've been on panels. We've got mentorship groups. We have one-on-one stuff. We've done a lot with that. And some of my biggest successes are seeing people that they were just starting out. They didn't know what they were doing, and now they're running seven-figure businesses. They have 10, 20 employees. They're rocking and rolling. It was amazing to see that. And I always want to see people more successful to me. And so hopefully I can add some of that and keep going with it from there. Let's see. We're going to go through it. Liz all went down last Wednesday. Last Wednesday was the official day that we took over. Jeff, I'm Todd. Nice to meet you. Let's see. Well, where are we at? Yeah. Yep, that's me. And TRW is with Fat Dad. We've got a couple things. We had, Fat Dad, we had Level Up because we had Print Cove Custom Designs. Then we had Level Up QC and now TRW, and we are located in Illinois. That is correct. Yes, we did have some crazy stuff. And there's a chance that some of the Color Spark HTV will be able to stick around. We're having meetings to go through some of it, and some of it's just not. We can bring it, and once it's gone because it is not cost effective to bring it back. And so we've been doing a lot of that, meetings, going through stuff, seeing where things are, what makes sense to keep, what doesn't make sense to keep, and to see where it goes. And Carol says, interesting to see how things are going from here. Half my order, my Mystery One combo, King combo tomorrow. What happened to the other half? One Mystery King bundle, 2 order. It got put together. All I know for a fact that all the King bundles are put together. And why do I know that? Because I did them right before we came here. So all the big bundles there, a lot of it was getting stuff to put in theirs with it. What was that? Is that 64 pieces? And so it's not 64 pieces that are all together. It's 64 pieces that are spread out. So, some of those did take longer to get because they took longer to package. So I know if it was a King bundle, there was the King bundle, the summer bundles, and there was another bundle that was in the adhesive bundle. Those are bundles that I'll put together tonight. I think there was 20 of them that I did before I left. So those are packaged up, ready to go with it. There was a lot of just getting the things in, ordering more boxes, filling more things, putting stuff in there. So everything is coming in and going out. So if it was King Bundle, I know it'll go through there for it, and we're getting it rocking and rolling for you. It is a little strange, but not for me because I'm a Tuesday type person. Mondays are typically for us, family. We do have quite a few things going on. We do have a decent sized family with 8 kids. And typically Mondays is when we had sports nights. We also fell into that's Monday Night Football. That's when holidays are on Mondays. So Tuesday is what we picked up. And the big reason was because Matt was always on Mondays, so we picked Tuesdays. We'll look at that. And Pilar says, all orders placed last week will be shipped by end week. If anything ran out, we have emailed those customers, but those folks who ordered bulk of specific colors. There's a lot of bulk. A lot of bulk. I will 100% say that for it. Excuse me for it. Let's see, what did I miss in here? And I can see the comments where I can pull through it, and so you can go through it. And I'll keep going through and seeing if I can. There's things in hello, good to see everybody. Yes, okay, we can see it. The music is still loud. We took care of the music, so we're good to go with that. And I don't know why it was playing. I really don't know why it is playing. And it took Pilar texting me. Thank you, Pilar, for doing that. Because I couldn't hear why it got it. It's just we use StreamYard for our service, and no clue. We had a great time doing the Hall of Fame today too, because Matt and I were both trying to figure out. He's like, "Where's the live button?" I'm like, "You told me where the live button is," and the only way we got it to come up was to restart it over. So we're doing that. Cindy, maybe you see what's coming. Cindy was local to me, and she's pretty excited about it. So I'm happy about that. See, you don't realize it was a happy accident. We're only giving the music has stopped. And so we're all like, yeah, see, the music keeps everything going for it. That's what we got to do for it. Um, and Pilar says, as much as possible, nothing is going to change for it. Yeah, no, we're going through a lot of it for it. Yeah, Debbie, I feel it is. I feel it's the same Rhinestone World that we all loved. The only thing really stepping is Matt stepping away and I'm stepping in. There's some products that we're not going to carry, but those products, they weren't big sellers anyway. They were more big inventory holders of things. They were more space takers. So, that stuff we're not going to carry. We're getting together with a Rhinestone supplier because there's possibility of new colors coming in, new selections there. So we're excited about that. So everything is going to be, I think everything's going to be great, if not go to the moon from here. We are looking, and here's the thing, the plan is for Wiz 6 on October 1st. Now, with that, there are a few things that bugs we're trying to work through it, which after talking with the developer and IT today, I'm pretty confident those will be able to be taken care of before then. So with that's what I'll keep everybody updated. But we are doing everything we can to get that out there on October 1st for everybody. And then, we'll talk about that. I need a cameo. The latest design space update is trash. Well, Cindy, I will have cameos. I will have cameos for sure for you. It's almost as Matt quit and took over his position. Kind of. He said, "Here you." He said, "You kind of look at it as like, here you go, kid." He took the training wheels off and just pushed. Said, "Here you go." That's what it is. But we've been working behind the scenes on this for quite a while, and we have been. We do that. We do wizard training. Yep, we will do wizard training over that. We'll still do. The Make It Mondays that were there still going to happen on Tuesdays. On next Tuesday, because right now I'm still in Florida and I haven't seen the family in a week. I guess I seen Corey last week. She's flying back down tomorrow. So we've done everything we can to get through it. It's been 12, 14, 16-hour days to get through this. And we have been doing everything we can because we're still trying to run the business while pushing, on this side of things to get everything wrapped up for you. So, there are going to be some hiccups along the way, and I will be 100% transparent with everybody throughout those, because things happen. Nobody's perfect. At the end of the day, the same thing that we tell our customers, we're like, it's just a shirt, nobody died, right? Things happen. Nobody's perfect. It's just how we handle those mistakes. And the same aspects in our business, things happen, just be upfront and honest with your customers when those things happen. And if something goes wrong, just own up to it. So we will be able to go through that for it. And yeah, it's going to be, I believe 100% it's going to be okay. Now, next Tuesday, I will be back at our home office and we're going to be dropping some new mini packs. I sent them to the girls today to have them look over, and I got some great feedback on it. So I think we're just in the next 3 weeks, we're going to have 3 different new mini packs come out with new designs. That'll help it. During this time, you're going to see some webinars put together, package deals. You're going to see new designs, new bundles, things like that. So we can continue to push through it. It's going to take about 10 to 15 business days before tangible products start shipping again because we were packing up. We had to cut off the deadline so we could pack orders and get it. Things start packing up tomorrow. They start shipping. We will have them next week, and then that gives us time to get everything unpacked and gone through it. And then we'll be able to go with it, and it'll be a great time. And Carol says, I love that we can ask questions about what is your fine or designing a Corel, share ideas too. We do a lot of that. I love a lot about it. And Jerry, I've known Jerry for years, this change has me very motivated again. Thanks. You're very welcome, Jerry. You know me. I love getting people motivated. I love getting people pumped up. I love getting people to be able to believe in themselves that they can do it. If you would have told me, 8 years ago when I told Matt, hey, we need a TRW North because I don't like how long it takes to ship stuff. He goes, let's work on that. And then, it was one thing led to another, and we started doing trade shows with them, started helping out in there. We're coming down to visit. We came down for trainings. We came down 2 years ago, and we took over TRW for an open house, a TRW takeover, with a great response. And somebody said, the next time you come down here, you're just going to take it all over. And that's what happened. So, we've grown. TRW is family, and that's how I feel each and every one of our customers always is family. You give us, your hard-earned money to be able to create things, and we're a part of that, and you're a part of us. We're a part of each other's success. So If you fail, part of that is, I feel, on us because I didn't provide you with enough information or the right information to be able to do that. So I want everybody to be educated in what they do. Some things you'll really will hear me really pound home to you is know your value, know your worth. You really need to know what it costs you to be in business, per hour. So to what you're charging, so you can make sure that you are getting paid your worth. You also need to know it's okay to say no. Not everybody's your customer. I put that in place quite a long time ago, as I was never going to let a customer make me feel bad about the way I do business or the way that I do my job, because it makes you second guess yourself. It makes you question your things. We just don't need that in our lives. We need the support of everybody. We need to believe in ourselves, because if we don't believe in what we do and that we're not good enough, how do we expect others to believe that we're good enough to do the job for them? So those are some of the things that I really try to instill in people. And when I say TRW is family, I truly mean it. Half of my wedding party was people from TRW. It was people that we met through TRW. So it is family, and we will always continue to do that. And so I really want it. And there's a lot going on in a lot of people's lives, and I will tell you, it will definitely things will get better. Okay. And Dave says, sounds goofy, but I wish we had in-person training. Stupid COVID hit right after I purchased the whole system. Plan was to go to in-person class, but unfortunately didn't have me. That is on the agenda, is going back to in-person training. And if sound and camera and issues like that, quality is here, it's because I'm just running the laptop. I said I was going to go ahead and do one. When we get back to the studio, it'll be a lot better. I promise for that. But is in-house trainings in the future? Possibly. One-on-one trainings in the future? Possibly. There's a lot of things that are in the future that we can look at doing. And so I'm here really to address any, comments, concerns that people may have, because I really want you to understand, that we're in this together. We are here to make it, and the things will be okay. Like, I feel like I'm going through withdrawal, missing that, but I'm so thankful you've taken over, Todd. I appreciate that. It is some really, really big shoes to fill. And I'm not going to lie, it is scary. It is scary to do this, to take over, and to really continue on the traditions of TRW. I've had tons of phone calls, text messages, emails from people throughout the industry that we've met over the years, that are really happy that I was able to pull this off, and are really supportive to make that happen. And want to bend over backwards, anything that we need. Hey, you let me know. I'm here for you, because you've always been there for others, and now it's your time. And so I thank him for that. We really are going to do our best to carry on and do everything that we can do. Oh, see, look at that. Keith saw that their order shipped today and arriving tomorrow. Love it, love it, love it. We're getting through it. Um, I had two King bundles. One bundle should be tomorrow. Other bundle should be shipped out tomorrow, because like I said, I put all the King bundles and everything together. I put the last of all that stuff together today for it. Darcy, yeah. In a lot, like I said, with UV DTF, DTF, regular screen printed transfers, sign making, banners, decals, magnets, yard signs, all that. That's all stuff that we did, as the print house for Fat Dad Print Co. So give us time, and we're going to turn all of that on into TRW. So we'll be your one-stop shop. You guys need banners? Hey, we're going to be here for you. You need yard signs? We'll be here for you. You need DTF transfers and UV DTF transfers? We're going to be here for you for it. So it will always be there. And Ronnie says, Carol, I bet the Facebook group will still be as helpful as always has been, answering the questions and helping each other. Yes, that group, it's always going to be outstanding for it. I just noticed that it's getting dark, and that's a problem, because the thing's over on the other side. So I might have to go over there and turn on a light if it starts getting any more. And Becky says, understand being busy with children. I have 7 daughters. Whew. We got 4 boys, 4 girls. 7. I'm not sure how I could go through that. Yeah, football season is starting up. For season starting up, whose school has started back up? Right before we left, on the Tuesday before we left, we actually did the best back to school event pressing on site. And we'll talk about things like that, because that's what we do. In fact, let me go see if I can adjust this light over here. Give me just a second and see if that'll There. Ah, look, that helps with things. Should be a light over here. That's where I need a light for it. So we had school start back up on last Wednesday. So we did a back to school event, and we'll walk you through those. You know, when we have the events that we do, the equipment that we use, how we put through it, what we do, you know, any of those things. Is we're right in the thick of it with you guys to go through it. Um, and Debbie, will order from your location, not Florida. Yes, everything will be shipping from Illinois from it there. So we'll get that there. And over the years, we've been built a great network of partners that we've worked with, so that way we can get things done faster. I talked with our DTF printers today because we're in a network where we print for people and people print for us, so we can maximize the return that slow down the minimize the return time that people have. So they're on board. They cannot wait for this. There's a lot of things that we're going, and so we're going to visit them. They're just a couple miles up the road from us, and so we got a lot of great things coming for it, and I cannot wait. Lou, is the color line is color spark line staying? Not clear on that. All the colors changing? No. So adhesive vinyl for sure is no longer going to be with us. The HTV, some of it will. So, and once it's gone, it's gone. And we're looking to see if we can work deals to be able to make it happen. But a lot of it now costs 3 times as much as when it was purchased. And so there's just no margins in it for what we would have to sell it for. So that's something that we would have to do it. Do you have a price range for 6.0? 6.0 we do. So we will talk about how 6.0, the upgrade, will work as we get a little more into it. But I will tell everybody there will be a subscription service. It needs to happen in order for TRW Design Wizard to stay around. It's lost hundreds of thousands of dollars over the years, and that's just because of the service side of it. And so if it continued to do that, it's not worth doing. Now, with the subscription fee, $29 a month is what it's going to be, and you're going to get $29 a month in design credits, so it's going to be free. This is where I have to put on my big boy hat and say, if you do not find value in what the $30 in value in what the Wizard does for you a month, then I do not know what to tell you. I can find $30 in value that it does for me on a daily basis. So there will be instances like that where I will be blunt with people on things because we do have to do things like that in order to stay successful with it and to make it, and not have to wait 5 years for updates. As we see something new, we can add it to it. As we have other things with it, we'll be able to add it to it. And at the end of the day, with the design credits, it's free for you. It's free for you. Jerry, there is a chance of that, of getting back to trade shows. Will we hit all of them like we once did? Absolutely not. Trade shows are expensive. And when I'm telling you expensive, on a low end for a trade show, $20,000, you can probably, like, when for a booth that you don't need anything other than yourself and some stuff in it, you can get into the weekend for about 10,000. We did that with OSG, where it cost us about $10,000 for every trade show that we went to. So there are instances where, will we go to some trade shows? Yes. Will we go to all of them? No, 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 no. It has been a process for sure. Process for sure. And JCOM, thank you. We appreciate you. We know it's a process and possible mistakes. We understand, and that's all I ask. Is things are going to happen, and we're going to do our best to do it. And like I said, the team is doing amazing with it. Crystal and Pilar are working their little butts off too, and I mean that. And I don't know if they have little butts or not. I've never looked, but they are doing everything they can to answer everybody's questions, to put out the fires where they can, to calm the nerves of people and know that, hey, we're not going anywhere. We've only got bigger and better things to come along with it. And so I'm really excited to see, what we can do. Darcy said, thanks for taking over, because if not, there would be no TRW. And there, that is 100% true. There is a good instance with it. That was kind of, part of it was, we knew, because this is not an overnight thing. This is something that was years in the making, and there's been years of conversation with it. And it had to be the right person at the right time with the right fit. Because a lot of things that happened over the last 5 years is companies were bought, they were stripped down to the parts that they wanted, folded into something else, and it lost its soul of it. And then the business went away. So it wasn't what it was. And we did not want to have that happen to TRW. And, I said anything that I could do to help out and keep that along that same route, to keep those things the same for people, I'm more than willing to do. And there was a bunch of avenues that were looked at, and just one was, what about you? And I really had to think about it. It wasn't a, okay, let's do it. It was a process. It was a life-changing, thing that was going to happen. It was, I'm putting everything that we have in it. When we took the leap of faith 9 years ago and said, we're going to go, I'm going to leave the corporate world and go into, decorating apparel, pulled everything out from every place that we had to make it work because, hey, we had stuff we need to do. And we made it successful and we were able to thrive with it and we were able to create the life that we loved with it and, do the things that we wanted to do, be there for our kids, buy the things that we wanted to buy. Not that we're about buying Lambos and things like that, but, to take care of the things we want to take care of, to go on family vacations, to show that apparel decoration, you can do that. And now we're doing it all over again. We're putting everything that we have into this, and that it's just this part of it. That's how firmly we believe it. And I know that we have to make it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's why it's going to be 100% all in. But I'm going to be relying on you guys to, hey, keep supporting us, please. And ways that you can do that: like and subscribe and share. I guess I got to hit that, and then check out all of our membership levels. Those are something new that I have to remind myself to talk about because we still have that for it. So we're looking forward to putting out things that are coming up. Like I said, the mini packs, the webinars. In fact, I just talked to I showed Pilar a design today. I said, here's an idea that I had for a webinar, and it was recreating, researching, like popular logos, designs that you see on NFL, NBA, MLB, things like that. How can we recreate those for? Sean did a webinar like that, years ago on it. And I said, we could do it. And I showed it to Pilar and she's like, yeah, that's great for DTF, but how is it vinyl? I said, it's 3 layers of vinyl. And she doesn't believe me. And so I pointed out, I think now she is a believer of like, oh yeah, it is. So we can make some really cool things with vinyl. That's what we want to show that you can do and how that can happen. So I think that'll be the first one that we'll do. And I'll get that set up this month. It's get us through this week. Then we've got a week of what we're going to do, why stuff is in transit, and then a week of putting things together. So, by I think Labor Day weekend, we'll probably, have a nice fun sale and put it there. And Cindy says, my credit card is ready for you guys to come back. Rhinestones are like Pokemon. I want them all. Cindy, you should see what we're going to have. um, is the 30-day trial for Pro still valid? No. And here's why. Um, it was It's only going to be 15 days. And the reason it's 15 days is because that's all Corel does. And so Corel went to a 15-day trial. When the Corel was a 30-day trial, it matched with Corel's. So Corel only has a 30-day, it only has a 15-day trial. So it will be a 15-day trial. And as far as restructuring, everything's staying the same. We're not changing anything. It's always going to be there for you. Yeah, Ronnie. So pretty much, you should have stuff in next to no time for it, because we're going to do our best that as long as, orders in by noon, we're going to have them shipped out the day. Now, there will be instances when somebody does a crazy sale like this, where you are literally giving things away because the amount of labor that goes into doing these things and what the cost of it is, it might take some longer, and we'll know about it. Now, I will say that when Wizard launches, there will be some sales that are going to go in place that I think a lot of people will be happy about. There in November, there will be some things for Black Friday that we'll work on. We're going to do our best to continue on the tradition for it and really get things for it. Yvonne said the takeover was really good. I had a great time with it. I really loved it, and it was always a good thing. This is I was worth about $1.25. No, you are not. I said, when it came down to pricing on things, like here, I say here in Illinois, while I am in Florida, but in Illinois, minimum wage is $15 an hour. So if you only want to pay yourself $15 an hour, why not go work at McDonald's where you get to eat for free and you have access to vacation and insurance? Think about that when we put it in there, because there's a lot that goes into it. Um, let's see. I'm going to continue to go through here, and I will just keep talking, and that's what I do is I go through it. And yes, yep, Jesse, we bought TRW for it. Illinois is closer to Pennsylvania than Florida too. I think so. I'm pretty sure it is. I think so. Um, he's he's still part of it, but for the most part, he will be in there and out. I don't wear shoes. I will tell you, for those that don't, for those that know me, can somebody tell Jocelyn why I don't wear shoes? And we'll see what we can get through there. And I will continue on with answering your questions and go there. So glad you were able to take it over. I would hate to have lost TRW altogether. Best of luck to Matt. And that so was I. And that was why it was. That's why part of it was there for it. Yes, we will still be a Caesar vendor. I have meetings with Brent and Patrick next week now because we move stuff around with it. And we're sorry to hear you go. Is it not renewing, or you're just not renewing it? And if you're not, hey, do the exit interview and let us know, because that's the only way we get better. Sorry to see you go, and we do our best to keep everybody around that wants to be. You'll do a great job of packaging. Yeah, I know, and that's why going through it, it was like, I was like, how are we fitting this in here? How are we doing this? And just Ryan is a Tetris wizard at it, and he knows where it is. I think you hit the wrong button. Why? No, I'm still here. I'm still here. I just hit it through it from it. It was just the lighting and things in here because, I could plug in this lamp and have a light right here, but then I lose a power jack because of just how this all is with it. So we'll get through it there. And for those that know, here's the real boss right there, Corey. She has been holding down the fort at home. Fort Downing, she has been taking care of. She has been getting a hold of things down here for us because we had to extend the trip. So extend the Airbnb, get us a new car because the one that we have smells like somebody smoked 20 cartons of non-filters in it. Scheduling up for the day laborers to help with the move, scheduling up shipping. She has been amazing. And I have cried a few of these nights. Just being overwhelmed. You guys will see that I do put a lot out there. I am an emotional person when it comes to family and business. I think everybody deserves a chance to be successful. I don't like when I see people being held down from that, and I cannot express how just thankful I am that we have this opportunity and really want to do our best to, make, Matt and Lorraine proud. So don't get orange Fanta sugar free. It tastes like trash. That's how I can get back on there for it. I believe so. I believe everything's going to stay the same and that we'll go through, and I think it will. We'll go from there. I have one business, started a custom shirt business, a banner business. Hopefully, this will be helpful. Love Matt. We're going to do our best. Let us know how we can help with it, and we will do our best to go through it. And Kristen says, wow, when I stumbled across TRW back in 17, everyone felt like family that you actually like to hang out with. That's how I want it to be again, because they were family. We made a lot of great friends with it, and I don't think we have had a vacation. There might have been a few stops throughout the last years that there wasn't somebody from TRW that was there for it in one way or another. So that's what we do. Like when we go down to Long Beach for the Impressions Expo, was to go visit Kelly out in San Diego, which the project she's working on, you guys are going to freak out when you see that. That is amazing rhinestone project that she's doing. Yes, Yvonne, that is a great question. You will always own the version that you already have. If you have Wiz 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, you will always have that version, and that version will always work. The support side of it will end for it because as we bring in, a new support team to help with that, they're not going to have access to old versions anymore. So we're going to only support the current version of it. So, that's one thing with it. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think it's a bad deal. I don't think it's a bad deal at all, especially when you get it for it. You'll have it, and the older versions, you'll be able to keep and be able to go there for it. There will be no more adhesive vinyl. So the Color Spark adhesive vinyl for sure, no. The Color Spark HTV, that is up in the air. Some of it, yes. If we can work out deals with the manufacturers to be able to keep it and bring it in at a reasonable price, then yes, we will do that. And so it will be easy to see on how we go through and do that for it. If someone has never had it, yes, there will be a fee for that. Just like before, there will be fees to get it. It's not just jump in and do it. So there will be an initial fee, and we're going through the pricing on that because the price should be for the new Wizard $669. That number makes me laugh. So I don't know if it'll be 669. Okay, maybe it will be 669. But new people, yes, 669. And like I said, we're going to run some specials for those upgrades for people that are currently on the 5, one of the 6. You're going to get a special deal. People on other levels that want to come to the 6, they're going to get a deal. So there will be deals to be had during October and November when this first launches. So that way, we want to get everybody in on this. We want everybody to to be a part of it with it there. So we're going to do our best to go through it. Right? HR is going to be scheduling a meeting with me because I gotta know how that all goes out for it, and it's there. Just feel like one brother Matt went off to do something, and the other brother Todd is taking up where Matt left. I'm really trying. I when we got into this, and we started doing lives, and we started doing more of that, and that's I really played myself, not played myself, took myself and put myself in, the WNWD. What would Matt do, right? Because how do you present yourself? How do you make sure you're providing the right information for it? How do you not get into pissing contests online? And you get so frustrated at certain people on things because I am a very numbers orientated person. I like math. I like how numbers can make sense of things, and numbers really tell us if we should or shouldn't do things. I don't mind, telling people when they're wrong. I love hearing when people tell me I'm wrong, and especially have facts to back it up because I love being wrong because that means I'm learning something. If you're not learning, you're not earning. You need to be consistently, constantly learning to be better at your craft and what we do, and that's where we hope that we can help provide a lot of that for it because I think we do a phenomenal job at it. I think the time that we have for it, and we'll be able to go for it. Jeff said, I think for the next live, we will probably to dress up like a roll of transfer tape. So that'd just be like a clear, weird thing, right? Two brothers going to different colleges. That is true. We're both like, we're both like the Cubs. So that's about it that we have with it. And we do it with it, and we try for it. Let's see. Were they new mini design packets on the site? No. Well, there are tons of new designs. The girls have been crushing it on their designs for it. Now, I will tell you this. I will be straight up honest with you. When it comes to designers, like the designers put these heart and souls and things, and when we run specials, hey, they lose out on a lot of money on the specials for it. So one of the things that we will put in place is that when we have specials on designs, we want to make sure that our designers get taken care of. So we're not going to let um, the discounts apply to them. They put in their blood, sweat, and tears in these designs. They really work their butt off, and to see a discount at 70% off, and so something they're just not seeing it. If they want to put it on sale, we're more than willing to let them. But hey, designers deserve to get paid, so that'll be something that will change. So keep that in mind with it. Um, Vince is kind of shocked, but I understand how people change and their needs change. I wish Matt the best. He is going to crush it on the sunglass side of it. He had 3 meetings today, another one in Tampa with somebody, and we had a good chat. And it's been an amazing journey that they've had with it. Ooh, Debbie, make sure to post that. Anytime you guys use any of the TRW stuff, I would love to see the designs for it. Sometimes in my head, I think of how a design should look, color palette, things like that. And somebody will change it up, and I'm like, I never even thought of that combination. And it just that creativeness, that's the thing that I remember when we got started with TRW. Somebody we could all have the same design, but do it in different colors. And it really, opened our eyes to the creativity of what we can do with things. So I am really ready to see what you guys do with that. There, Kim. If you never owned it, I got that. I get it for you. I got it. Yeah, there will be a fee for it. I got you, Kim. I got you, Kim. Kim is my other twin. She's my birthday twin. We got birthdays in November. She's gonna be like 30 this year, and I'll be like way older than 30. That's what we got for it. So let's see. We're getting through the comments. I think I'm only like 10 minutes behind on it. I'm doing glow in the dark with it too. Ooh, I just can't decide on the color stones. There it is a tough choice, and it's crazy how you can use the same design for like the HGV, and how different it changes by using the different stones. Which with 6, when you can select the different color stone options, ooh, and use that for your mock-ups. Oh, that is a Wiz 6 preview that you will be able to see through it. Yes, and if you go to the crafting page, there is a link in there that Pilar posted for the Humble Bumble bundle. Say that way too many times, where Corel is stupid cheap through it for it. I did not inherit any juju juice. I'm going to switch over to Dr. Pepper now because it's that that orange Fanta, that sugar-free orange Fanta. I'm not. Mm-mm. Becky, I'm always barefoot. I'll tell you, I'm barefoot now. I will. I haven't worn shoes. I bet I've worn shoes 5 times in the last 5 years. That might even be pushing it. My toes need redone. They're pretty toes. I will say that. There's no, yeah, pedicure. You're not a man unless you get a pedicure. And they are. I'm very bougie where they have to make up special stuff for me. And you guys will get to see those colors to be there because I'll post that in the group. Usually, when it's time to get the toes done, I'll put it there and I'll post, hey, which one do you think we should get? Um, we're seeing if we're able to. A lot of it, it's how it works to connect because even with CM5, we're working through to see if we can make that issue resolve. So I cannot say for 100% sure. But the great thing about on the subscription model of it is, say in 2 months from now, let's say we release with 6 on October 1st, and then in December we figure out, hey, we can add that to it. When in a subscription, we just change it and just add it to it. So that way you don't have to wait, another year for another thing to come out with it. And there, Jesse, if I get the subscription, will you all install it for me? And what window base we need? Pilar, I will refer that question to you. Yeah, that's what I will refer that to you. Because I mean, yeah, they always help with the installs and that. I'm almost positive that, they help with the installs to get it, and they're good for it. Thank you. I'm here for you too. We're all here for each other. That's what we're here for. We're here to lift each other up. A friend of ours, Aaron Montgomery, one of his sayings that always sticks with me is a rising tide raises all boats. It's true. It'll always stick with me on that because, together we can do some great things for it. And I'm really excited to see it. Yeah, we'll access to Matt's past here. Yes, everything. So nothing was changed on that. In fact, Plar's building bundles on a lot of those past training series. So that way there's going to be some great deals on it and be able there. I do. I do get emotional when I think about it. And see, just the last 3 months has really been just waiting for the rug to get pulled out from underneath you. Like I was even freaking out on the plane ride coming down here because we didn't have a contract yet, and it should have all been taken care of before we got on the plane. And literally, as I'm sitting on the plane and we're taking off, I see an email that comes through and it's the contract, so I know okay, this is really really happening for it. And so it's been super stressful on things, and I am emotional about it because I do have some big shoes to fill, and so we're gonna do our best to go through it all. And I'm loving the chance to do it. You guys don't realize how much you mean to me. Even there's people that we know online, and I know a lot of you are in that same position where we have best friends that are online that we've never met, that we can reach out to, that we can talk to, that we can rely on. And we have a group of friends that we see each other, maybe if we're lucky, all of us once a year, maybe every 2 years, 3 years, but we pick up right where we left off. We talk every day. We may FaceTime, you may, talk, through a message group or through text, but you know that they're there for you, and that's what we want you to know, that we are there for you too. I do. I really do. I do care. I know that everybody has it in them to do great things. Sometimes you just need that little kick in the ass for it to happen. And I will slide in swear words, not meaning to it, because sometimes I'm passionate about that. But I know everybody has it in them to be great. Um, I do a I do a book series, not a book series, a reading of the month. Who's Jerry? Jerry Dykes in here. Jerry, this month's book, have you started reading it? I started listening to it, and it was wild. And I was like, I don't know with what I was thinking. Oh, I could throw it in and I could listen to it while I'm doing it. I couldn't do that with this one, so I don't know if this book's a good, if this, this is the right one for me. Let me pull it up and we talk, and we're gonna, we'll go long and we'll talk about this and that. Where is my Audible so I can see it? Audible. There it is, Audible. The Courage to Be Disliked is what this one is, and it is wild. I will say that. I've got like 4 hours left in it, and it is very interesting to say the least. But last month's book was Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell. Everybody go get that book, download it, listen to it, read it. You'll understand some of the stuff that I'm talking about when I say, you value your time and what it's worth. Things on And sometimes if it's buying back your time. Go get that one. This one, the courage to be disliked, it is it's wild. I will say that for sure right now. Um, and Ronnie, thank you. So glad you took over, and that it'll stay like family. And that's my goal. You know, it's going to stay like family, and everything's going to go with it. Hello, Jerry. Jerry's in our mentorship community. Jerry didn't. Jerry was the one I could not wait for it because Jerry's like, Jerry has been my voice of reason. Jerry calls me out for spending money on services that I don't use. Jerry is very, hey, do you really need that type of thing? And I love Jerry for it. And so when we told Jerry we bought it, the look on her face was amazing. And it's things like that to hear the comments from people, to hear the things. That's what we got for it. You give me 20 minutes. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks. I will take that for it. I will take that for it. I don't wear shoes unless I go to a store somewhere. Barefoot, even though I wear flip flops. I'm a flippy flop type of guy. And hey, we're in Illinois, so we get snow, and I hate having to put shoes on to go out, so I just don't go anywhere. Uh, there's actually a bling cruise in October. The Sparkle Cruise, right? Kelly did it last year. We were sponsored part of it, and so as we went through things like the project that Kelly's working on right now, I so bad wanted to be a sponsor of it, but I wasn't in the position to do it with what we have going on, and now I would have. But Kelly has a Sparkle Cruise, pretty sure in October. We have Disney Cruise in October. Not I, because now I'm doing this. The kids are going there for it, so we will be with it for it. And we'll do that. You guys will see it a lot. Does Corel 8 still work with 6? Yeah, because it should go back to 17. X7 is when Corel should go back to. And I can find out for sure when we talk with the developers and go through it all. So glad that you were able to watch tonight. Missed watching for a while. Had one very busy All-Star Cheer. It is All-Star Cheer. I know exactly what you're talking about with it. Let's see. Let's see. Nope, we had that one for it. Good to know. Perfect. Korean Lola and go to. I was looking forward to topping my jars. So it is going away, but being replaced. And it's just because on color selection, the other stuff will be a low lead as well. And we're going through. There'll be new colors. There'll be new things that are there for it. So, in some ways, yes. Some ways, no. It's just on some of it, when we can get better quality stuff, at the same price for you guys, then that's what we need to do for it. Let's see. No, you're not invisible, Jerry. Look, I can see you right there. Ha 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 ha. Jerry, sometimes when she gets online, she becomes invisible and you can't see her. So it is definitely interesting when we have great conversations like that. I see you, Jerry. Hi, Barb. Barb, thanks for checking in with us. And yes, Pilar and Crystal are doing some beautiful design work, beautiful work. Yeah, that's why I say pay your designers. Pay your designers. They work their tails off for it. So let's get them that money for it. Nicole, hey Todd and Corey and crew. Sad news about Matt leaving, but real happy TRW is going in excellent hands. I'm trying not. I got to keep it together. I got to keep it together. Like every time I hear that, that's when I know we did the right thing. And change is scary, not just for you guys, for us too. And we're in this together. Like we are in this together. I'm gonna put it on you on myself that we are going to do our best to uphold what TRW is and what it means to everybody and continue on with that legacy because you deserve it and it deserves it. And we are just merely here to facilitate. So that's what we're going to do for it. Jeff says, okay, Todd, let me test you. What would you charge a customer for 30 shirts customer provided along with graphic 4-inch front, 13.5-inch back? You know what I'd charge him? I wouldn't do it because I'm not taking a customer supplied shirt. I don't know what they've done to that shirt. I don't know how that shirt presses. I don't know a lot of things with that. Now, that's why I wouldn't do it. For a 30 shirt, in the graphic, is it full color? Is it single color? What's the turnaround time on this? Is it something that, it's a heat sensitive fabric? There's a lot that goes into that. So quoting a job just isn't that simple. But I can say without a shadow of a doubt, I would not do this job because, yeah, I'm not doing it because then I'm not letting them bring in shirts. We do this for one client, and we do it for football, and they do their practice jerseys. and we put the names on them. It's bad when we're like, please wash the jersey and get it, and some of those kids don't, and they're rank. And so that's, I said, we're in it just like you guys. We deal with a lot of the same things, and yeah. But yes, so I can't give you a price on that and go through it for it. Let's see as we go through here. Yeah, who's Debbie's birthday twin? Debbie, find your birthday twin. Let's get Debbie's birthday twin. Um, oh, great, Ronnie. What's this? True glow in the dark rhinestones by next Halloween. So here's my issue with glow in the dark stuff is that it looks great for a little bit and then it goes away. I just need stuff that lasts longer with it. That's all. I need stuff that lasts longer with it, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, the airlines are crazy. Corey's been working that deal to get flights in here, out here, move stuff around. So I cannot tell her how much I love her and appreciate her and everything that she does. And the only way to do it is right here in front of hundreds of people. I love you. Thank you for everything that you do for me. Sorry, I am a handful. Sorry, I'm a mess. I don't know how you put up with me, and I appreciate it. So, whew, it has been it's a roller coaster of emotions for sure. And I think, am I caught up? Yeah, baby, I'm all caught up. So I love that. So for our designers, what we're going to do is we're going to get them their own category, and this is part of working through the website and how things work and go for there. So that way, when we do discounts and that they have their own stuff. You guys go give them full price so that way we can walk through it. They can get that for it. Oh, we want to hear from you guys. When we had our Hall of Fame today, one of the things that we talked about is what kind of designs do you guys want to see more of? We know about the baseball and the basketball and the football and the softball. We know about those big sports and that, but what are some of the other things that we want to see stuff for? Chess club, fishing club, drama club, um, contemporaries, golf, other things like that. Some more, standardized, not standardized, but more custom templates. So that way, it doesn't have to be sports related. We can use that in other business sides of things too, because the wizard and live templates can be used so much in so many things for it. Ooh, hockey. I should have known that. Barb does some amazing, she does the laced up hoodies, and so that might be a project that we show off. Those turn out phenomenal. Because I think TRW, we have the hockey font, right? So we have the two color knockout hockey font, don't we, Pilar? Pilar's like our encyclopedia for this. And let me be 100% with you guys. If Pilar didn't come with TRW, not saying that like I bought Pilar or anything. That only takes like, a couple seltzers anyway. But that was a big part of it is I needed to keep the team, and the team does amazing work, and every day I try and tell them how appreciative I am because not just to say it, but because I really truly mean what they do. But I think we have a hockey knockout one, so maybe we can put together some things like that. And I think a lot of people see the stuff and they're like, I really like that, but how would I use that? Like, how would I really use that in things? So those are things that we're going to show more of because we have thousands of things that people might not know that we have. So pickleball. Is it me or did pickleball come out of nowhere like really quick? It seems like every corner, like in our area, we've got three things happening on every corner. Tell me if it's in your area too. You are either getting a car wash, a pickleball court, or storage. Seems to be how it's going with it. More band, another one for it. Pilar, you and Crystal can definitely knock out training. I believe in you. That's the thing is Pilar's going to handle All-Star training on Friday. So we'll do Hall of Fame. Did that today. I'll do Hall of Fame on Thursday. And then Pilar's going to do All-Star training from last month on there. So going forward, that's what I was talking about schedule-wise. Tuesday nights, 8 o'clock. That's when we're going to do this. We'll get together. Give me a couple weeks, and we'll get in the groove of cutting things and showing things off for it there. Hall of Fame stuff, that's going to be on your Tuesdays and Thursdays at same bat time. So noon Eastern, 11 Central, 10 in the mountains, 9 on the West Coast. Yeah. And then the next All-Star training after that, All-Star trainings will start being on the second Wednesday of every month. Don't worry, you don't have to write all this down. If you want to, though, where's it at? Oh, no. I lost my buddy. My buddy. Where did you go? Oh, no. Ah, there it is. This has been a lifesaver. If you guys do a lot of meetings and you do a lot of talking with people, get yourself a Plod. The Plod is amazing, and it has helped me out so much in this last week of just keeping track of everything that we talk about and everything that we do. So it's a cheer. Yeah, well, we can definitely do cheer stuff. Wrestling. Oh yeah, I forgot about wrestling. I learned rodeo. That rodeo has a season. I didn't know that rodeo has a season. Speech teams. See, another one for it. We do KO fonts. Yeah, so let's show that off. Let's show how we can use that. Maybe I'll create something tonight, and I'll just post it in the group with the knockout for it, because that's a cool one that we can do for it. We get there's a lot of stuff that we have that I think people forget about because we don't know about it. We won't be good at first, so I hope everyone will grant us. If they don't, right to the moon, right to the moon. You know the TikTok where my dad wants to show you his GI Joe collection. You better not make fun of him and better like it. Well, Pilar and Crystal want to do some trainings for you guys. You better not make fun of them, and you better like it. That's what it's going to be like, because they're stepping outside of what their comfort zone is. But that's what we're going to do. We're all going to get better at this and make that fishing, bird hunting, deer hunting, bird dogs, fishing, tackle box designs. Yeah, I, yeah, we can get with that. More ice hockey. Yeah, pickleball. See, this is what we do. What's he saying, Pilar? What's he saying? Yeah, like gone fishing, gone hunting. Yeah, and there's a lot of things. Yes, on pickleball. See here too. Yes. See, all right. I'm not crazy. It's just not our area. I want to request the possibility of having sessions online classes, one or ways to structure and organize your files through or without the wizard. She, Mary Alice, she wants a, she wants like a week long seminar, because there's so many ways to do that. And what's wild is some people, well, the way some people do it, you'd look at them like they were nuts. Some people don't do it at all, and they just, it's all alphabetized. Some have it by groups, some have it there. There's the best way that I've told people is you need to find, and this is going to be, and this isn't a cop out answer. You need to find what works best for you, and that's what you stick with. Because some people, like, I date everything. I have the file name and the date. Well, other people will do the date and then the file name with it, and then by months that they have it, and they have it categorized and from there. So let's work through what works best for you and how we can do it. Yes, we do have pickleball designs, at least a couple. So see, we can definitely get there. Mattress stores, yeah, they're a front mattress stores. Actually, like when a mattress, they don't have to sell a whole lot to make a lot of money. Their margins are huge on that. They are. Pilar and Crystal are the MVPs. I don't think I'm going to give Pilar your email address to add to the group. She has to say something every day. Like, are you going to add Corey's email to this so I can bring her in on it? I think it's just a little cat and mouse game of like, I forgot. We'll get around to it. Wawa. So I visited my first Wawa, and today was the first day that I haven't visited Wawa since we've been down here, because it's right around the corner, and I do love me some Wawa. They have taken care of me food wise. Their subs are good. I got a pizza last night, and that's what I had for dinner tonight. I got some chicken fingers one night. What else did I get from there? So Wawa. I'll take 2 thumbs up on the Wawa. Uh, just that he needed my expertise and knowledge. Yes, I did. 100%. Yeah, we have pickleball courts and teams. It's getting popular everywhere, and that's what we're doing. And just I may have missed it, but any updates on restocking items that have been out of stock for a while. Certain rhinestones. So yes, let me give you some updates on it. In some instances, they are no longer, or they weren't what they once were. Manufacturer changed how they were doing some things. So there may be things that just don't come back in stock. So the way that it's going to work is, so everything that we bring back to Illinois, and we go through and we categorize it, we put it in it, and we meet with the vendors and go through, what looks good, what's out. We will take, hopefully, as we find stuff, there's stuff that was out of stock. Is there a good replacement for it? Maybe there is, maybe there isn't, but we will go through we'll go through it and see what we can do, and to bring stuff back in stock. Some of the stuff may have been, just stuff that didn't sell well. So once again, when you're in, on the business side of things, every, square inch equals money. So if something's sitting on a shelf and it's been sitting there and it's not selling, then it might make sense to no longer carry it for it. Crystal, your TRW crew will obviously give you the grace you both need to find your group. Yeah, they will. So I'm telling you. Oh, look at that. Pilar's posting links. There's hockey, right? And you're right, Todd. It's so funny. Those things are popping. They are. All right. I'm telling you, they are. Found the Knockout Hockey Player font. I paid the Knockout family recently, so you can see them all by search Kale font. Yeah, baby. I love to hear that. I just got an order for DTF. Thank you for placing that order for DTF. Just saying. Let's see. What'd you miss, Matthew? What did you miss? Tell me what you thought you missed. Yes, certain times. So it will be whatever time this is now in your area. So it was 8 in the east, 7 in the central, 6 in the mountains, which let's settle something right now. Colorado. Is Colorado in the Midwest? That's going to tell me a lot about you people. So, and then that would be 5 on the West Coast. So, yes, that we're shooting for 7 o'clock at night Central Standard Time because that's where I'm at. So that's where we're going with for it. What? Definitely get a what? 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 There is all the KO fonts to link to those. Competition cheers about palms. Yeah, that's a great one to do. Gymnastics. Yeah, probably Central Time. Yep. So whatever time. Medical, just not nursing. Gotcha. Yep. Rodeo, team roping, horse shows, dog shows, rabbit shows. I learned about rabbit shows from Juanita in Jim Cell. I had no clue that these things existed. I was so fascinated when she told me the story, and I just couldn't believe it. I had no clue. It is fat dad mode. I will give it that. Yes. So I'm doing the All Star training Friday. Breathe, breathe. Need a paper. You'll be fine. What is it? Polar's favorite things? That's what I'm doing. Fishing family. Look at that. We'll get in there. I've fallen behind on that. Um, yes, we will have all of there. And so the stuff that we sell is that we work with is the commercial equipment, not necessarily the desktop ones, but the actual commercial ones. And the reason being is in a lot of instances, I will tell people you do not need to own that piece of equipment. When you're spending that kind of money on things, you really have to make sure that you have the production for it. Even on the DTF side of it, I was a beta tester for the X-Tool apparel printer. So I had it, way longer than anybody else has. We're one of 5 in North America, and it's okay. It's not meant to be a production machine. It's just not, and there's too many issues that we ran into with it. When it comes to transfers, if you're not printing out like at least 50 to 100 a day, just order the transfers. DTF is like a whole new other person that you have to babysit. UV is kind of the same way. But yes, we're getting with our suppliers. I talked to one of them today, and we're just trying to figure out the API side of things so that way we can tie things into it. So supply wise, DTF ink, DTF sheets, DTF powder, all of that will be available in there too. So we're working through all of those things for it. Wait, I need to read that a few times from Mary Alice's organization idea. I must have missed that, but post it in the group so that way everybody can read and go with it from there. Um, oh, look at that, taking the hoodlums on an early cart ride. She's talking about my kids. She's calling my kids hoodlums and a golf cart ride. So that's our nightly thing as a family. Is that we hop on the golf cart and we go ride through the neighborhood. We go ride down by the river, and I haven't got to take a cart ride in like a week because I've been here. I've got a river. That's right out here that I haven't even got to enjoy and sit and maybe see a manatee or anything because I've been working, and today's my last day. So great idea. I join mentorship group. I do have my mentorship group, and that might be no longer open for new members, and you OGs might be it. You guys have been with me for so long. I just want to make sure that I can make sure you guys are still taken care of because you have always supported me for it. Give my best friends a hug. Those are my kids. They're the best friends with it. We had pickleball in high school since the late 90s. Really? I graduated high school in the 90s, and I don't remember pickleball at all. Of course, my files get messy, so I have I have a done folder, and it just gets it out of my way and off my screen. There, I have sketches and scraps. All get dumped in their own folders. So many folders. So many folders. I know you do. I know you do. You probably have a. No, you don't. You don't want a Bucky's near you. You don't need, a truck stop that doesn't serve trucks that you can buy a grill from and a car from. Yeah, Bucky's is great. I love when we went down. We got to go to Bucky's when we were headed down to the Misfit Makers event last year. It was all about it. I am in Florida right now. I'll be in Florida through. I think our flight leaves at like 6:30 Saturday morning. So the agenda for TRW the rest of this week. Now our movers show up at noon tomorrow, and they will start packing the cams machines, compressors, shirts and stones, all that will go first, and then rhinestones will start getting packed up, and then everything else, and we're seeing what we can fit, and if it fits, it ships. So that's what we're doing. So they'll be there on Wednesday. They might have it all done. If not, we have Thursday, and then I have scheduled training with Ryan to go over with the website. I think I got Seth for a few more things, and then I've got Matt on a couple things, and maybe Friday I can actually enjoy Florida. At least at night, maybe we can run out to I would love to just go see where Rod and Reel Pier was, because that was our favorite place to come down here and go to, and it's not here anymore. So I haven't got to do anything. It's work, 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 work. It's we have at home. I can't even think of what it's called. Quick Trip, Quick Start. Yeah, Quick Start. It's kind of like the same thing for it. Maybe we could work on a design database everybody could help organize. I'm all ears on if anybody wants to do that for it. Yeah, let's see. Yes, yep, packing up the warehouse. We're rocking and rolling for it. Actually, for a couple of these days, it was warmer back at home in Illinois than it was down here because of the corn sweats. Just in case you wanted to learn about that, corn sweats. Um, so yeah, we are getting through that. Let's see. I was so impressed. When we were in Springfield, went to Shields. Shields is pretty nice, and um, that's what Matt's working on. That's one of the deals he's working on, is getting their sunglasses into Shields. So there's meetings. There's a lot of stuff that goes in, and to really take it to the next level of the national brand. That's what's got to go for it. Let's see. What are we? That's right. That's why Crystal has a job here. Nope, Colorado's not the Midwest. Hmm, hmm, hmm. Just saying. Just saying. Um, Chris, I just thought seeing someone else's structure might help us. Absolutely. And that's the thing. That's what Colorado's mountain time, so it's definitely not Midwest, right? What we got here? The item you said, get one little silver thing you picked out, and you said get one yourself. One? What? What did I miss? Did I say something I shouldn't have said? Maybe I didn't. Wow. I got lasers. We got the F1. We have the S1. We're affiliates with them, with X-Tool, and that's how we got it. And we use the wizard, like last year, we used the wizard to do ornaments. And so that's some things that, some ideas that we can show you how to do it, because by using the templates that are already in there for the magic templates for the magic text, we can use those for ornaments. And so you can set up your base design for it. And then when it comes back in, oh, here, I sold 50 of them. I can put in my list of names and do that. And then maybe there's something coming handy with, name drops, as a CV file in there. But, that's another great thing that the wizard is great for, is just design work all around for it. Like I said, I don't think there's a day that goes by. There has, if I'm doing anything with work wise, I'm using the wizard for it. Actually thought I'd show some designing stuff. Maybe make a shirt from one of Crystal's new designs. Have you guys seen the newest? Crystal's made some awesome ones. One of the things that I'm going to try and get these caught up, and then I'll tell you what's going there. I'd say no. Yep, Colorado isn't the Midwest, but Nebraska is. I have no idea why Ohio considers itself Midwest. Ohio, they eat their dogs. That's an inside joke Jerry loves to hear about. Um, Come see our new Buc-ee's when it opens. It'll be simply stupid exciting. Yes, it will. That chat thing he has. Name just slipped my mind. He and Kelly talk about. Oh, Plod. This guy, Plod, Plaud, Plod. So what it does is you turn it on, and it'll just record everything. And then what it will do is, once you sync it up to your phone, and there's ones that go on your phone, that's the one that you wear. I will bring up the app for it, and um, because I was using it for orders. So as I was going through orders, because once again, I didn't know where stuff was, it would tell me like this, order availability. So it gives me, I don't know if you can necessarily see it, but it will give me a summary of the conversation. It'll give me the transcript of the conversation. It will mind map it out for it. We use this as we were going through with Philip over the cams machine, how everything worked with that and what we needed to do there with it. And Corey has like, a lot of hours on it. And so it'll transcribe all that for us. Super, super amazing for notes. One of the main reasons I got it is some of the people that we work with are very scatterbrained like myself. So we may start at the one conversation here as we're talking about our shirts and our designs, and then we're talking about the next way to make our own pickles, and then we're talking about the maybe the accident that happened across the street, and then we're talking about something, then we talk about shirts again. So we get all over the board, and then we forget what we were actually talking about. This guy helps me remember that because he keeps me on track. Plod. Uh, let's see. Don't do it. Don't do, don't do it. It's not worth it. You're not getting rich colors with it because there's no white underbase with it. It's okay. My customers are worth more than that. And there's a lot of hacks out there that can be done to make stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm like, do my customers deserve hacks or do my customers deserve to have it done right? So, what do I think of the UFI? I think since we had the opportunity to get one and I passed on it because of this going on with it, everything. I think it'll be great for the at-home user. I think it'll be great for samples. I love the bed leveling system that it has for it, but at the end of the day, it is not fast enough to produce real production. And that's where, its downfall is. But it's not made to be that. And that's what people have to understand. It's not made to be a production stand piece. But to get your feet wet in the UV printing arena, it looks like it's going to be a pretty good machine. I would definitely, it was something that we thought about. Then all this happened. So kind of thinking about some other ways. No, it's one of the little inlets that you'd probably get out to the ocean somewhere, but it's 100% a river that's right out there. And we go with it. Yeah, I read that too, 1965. It's been around, but I hadn't heard about it until like recently. So it blew my mind with it. I have the X tool. It's not a big production machine. It's okay for it was one of the machines. Yeah, absolutely. And that's what it's for. And I know people that are running great businesses with them too. And so I'm not knocking it at all. It's just on some instances, they're not made to produce the things that we'd like to. Ron said, I started an Excel file with rhinestone fonts and their heights that I desperately want to finish one of these days. If I ever go around to finish it, I'll share it. Love that. Love, love, love that. Chris said our quick trip died out. There's a Casey's about every 5. We don't have. We are getting a Casey's, and they are building one here in town. Usually, they're all outskirts of it. Yep, we have rallies, same as Checkers as other places. Their fries are amazing. We have that too, rallies in there. And then what's the other one? Our Hardee's is some places Carl Jr.'s. So we've got that one that goes along with it. Uh, let's see. We can say we knew Matt Wynn. That's what I say. We can say we knew Matt Wynn. Tad, that chat thing that you can describe your meetings. Totally spaced the name. Yep, Plaud. Plaud is what that is. Yep, you can see right here. I use the wizard to make designs for my husband's CNC laser. Yeah, so many uses for it. So we just got to think outside the box. It's not always, apparel. It's just not always decorating cups. We can use that for a lot of things with it. Let's see. There's one somebody talking about the dogs. I 100% know that's what that was. Breakfast pizza. They do have some killer breakfast pizza. My name's not Fat Dad for a reason. I would get that. And say, as a customer, I don't want to hack. I want it done right. And we've explored a lot of hacks because on our side, we like to see how things are done. We like to see, the stuff behind it. How can we make things work with it? But is it stuff that I would ever give to a customer? No, because that's my name I'm putting out there. And it may not work out for them. And are they going to tell you that? No, but they're going to tell 10 people about it. So that's why I don't do it. White toner printer, haven't had the chance to play around with it. So white toner printer, do have one of those. In fact, that'll be on the site as well. We are friends over at Magic Touch, amazing people to work with on their supplies and that. We use our white toner for a ton of temporary tattoos. So that service will also be, available through TRW. Now, somebody asked me earlier, what happens to Fat Dad? Fat Dad gets skinny. Even though it's been part of, our legacy and, my son named the business 20 years ago, when I said, what should we name it? His little 6-year-old self said, well, you're fat and you're my dad, so we should name it Fat Dad. So, I will, it's sentimental to it. And so what we'll have is there'll be a tab in TRW where it is, Fat Dad Print Services. And so in there, that's where it'll be things like the temporary tattoos, things like the DTF transfers, the UV transfers, the signs, the banners, decals, anything wide format printing we'll be able to handle for you. Flags to an extent because there are minimums on flags to go through that. But yeah, we'll have all that for you. I'm just totally sucking in some Dr. Pepper because I'm not at home. I'm usually a water person, and I drank all my water. So when I'm kind of out of there, I'll go ahead and kill some of this stuff. Be sure to add in the things we love. That thing is going to be switched around because that was one thing I don't think we're going to get into the sale because it's tied to Matt's personal accounts. And there's some things that over this like next 30 days, there's a lot of transitional things that happen. I don't know about you guys, but there's a lot of like our personal stuff and our business stuff and just like where files are saved and things like that. So we're working through all those because I'm like, oh, you don't want to give me this stuff and I have that. Yep, they are. Joseph over there is amazing. I love Joseph over there. In fact, he was one of the first people that I talked to, and he's like, whatever you need, you let me know and we'll help you up with it. What's the purpose of a white toner printer? As it's it is as a base for other inks. Yeah. So it does white, so it prints white. So before DTF and UV DTF, it was like your real option to get something without having to weed it. I love using it for foil because you can get some really detailed stuff for foil where you don't have to weed it. So things like that will show off. I love how foil feels on things. But the white toner, our biggest use for it now is temporary tattoos because with UV DTF printing, that's what's our go-to for white toner for a long time with it. But UV has kind of taken over that. So it's pretty much now just for white toner printing, and I will use it for the adhesive when we're doing stuff for foil because I just love the way that looks with it. Yes, they do. And this thing, a lot don't. And that's where I knew it could do so much more than shirts because prior to UV DTF, things when you want to do hard substrates, when you wanted to do glass, we used it, Corey used it a lot in tumbler making for temporary tattoos and water slides. So that's where it made sense for us for it because it makes sense to go with there. My grandson will be so relieved that Fat Dad will be getting skinny. Yep, she thought that was a good story. Yep. Nope, it was me. It was me. Yeah, Joseph's amazing. I love DTF. Me too. I love it. Can you sublimate on which part? Sublimate on what things? Uh, it's almost like DTF, but more work. Really, it takes a bit. Yeah, especially the marrying of the part. You have to rasterize and halftone the image to make them better, and that can happen with DTF too. It's like Todd said, so many things. There's so many things than just shirts for it, and that's where like on the temporary tattoo side of things, that's where it's really legit. Look, see, it just said transfer open because I touched it and made it work for it. Wait, no, you wouldn't sublimate on that because you just wouldn't sublimate on that. You can do it works really well in like one-off stuff. Yeah, that's where it's at. But the marrying of sheets to make sure you have that system right, it can be a little cumbersome for it. That's why I said I love it for the adhesive for foil because you can do some really intricate designs without having to weed stuff. And I love it for temporary tattoos. And yeah, temporary tattoos. So we'll show that stuff off, and I'll show you how the wizard where you can use that to create the same logo here, and we can cut that logo out of vinyl. We can sublimate that logo. We can laser engrave that logo to make a leatherette patch. We can laser that on anything for it there. We can use it for temporary tattoos. There's so many things that we can do with it. Um, we probably broke it, Michelle, to be honest with you. Off topic, I saw that there was a Hall of Fame this morning. I went to check it out and looking for the chat replay, but couldn't find it. Wondered why. We had some issues this morning, and even me and Matt couldn't figure it out because I said, "Hey, how do you do this? Like, where's the go live button?" We couldn't find it, so we ended up having to get a different one. So it might be a one-off thing. Hopefully, we'll have it figured out by Thursday. And if I have to download OBS, like I said, just give us some time to work through some of that. Matt has always used OBS for everything. I use StreamYard for everything, and I got to make sure to get StreamYard hooked up to see if I can hook it up because when I just natively said, "Oh, we're going to do this live," it said, "Hey, you can't do a private members group. So we just natively tried to do it inside of YouTube, and there was no go live button. And so we had to do it a few times and finally made it. We finally got it to work. So, we're going to work through that, and we'll make sure it's there. We'll get it for it. So like weeding Caesar adhesive sheets. Yeah. So like, the Caesar adhesive, that's a great way to look at it, Carol, because that's what we traditionally do, right? We have our Caesar adhesive. So if we wanted to have words on here like this, I'm gonna do Fat Dad. This is DTF, by the way. We would cut this out, and then we would weed this, and then we would press that, and then we put the foil on and go from there. With the white toner, you would just print this out, you press it with the shirt, then that's the adhesive, then add the foil and go that way with it. So it's pretty slick with it. As always, Jerry, you know that. I appreciate you too, Jerry. Jerry's been, Jerry's been part of the family for years. She's definitely the mom that, I'm not saying the mom is in age wise, but in wisdom wise. She puts me in my place quite a bit. I appreciate her for that. And it's great learning from it. We can help any way we can, Ronnie. On DTF, a lot of it just, it's not too complicated. People are like, you should raster images and you should do color knockouts and you should do this and do that. Well, the thing is when you go to, especially do like color knockouts and that, what happens, you have a black knockout on shirt because it goes on the black shirt. Great. Well, what happens when you want to put that same image on, a yellow shirt or a different color shirt? Now it doesn't work. So, there's a way to design things better to breathe, just like vinyl, just like anything else. And, we do a lot to try and help with that. But everybody, everybody is their own worst critic. Like when you go in and you look at, go into the sports store and you see some of the heavy screen printing that is done on things, or the heavy DTG that are done on things, or if you buy a shirt from a concert and you wash it once and everything's gone, and those shirts were paying $75, $85, and meanwhile you're telling yourself that you can't sell a T-shirt for $20. Yes, you can. Yes, you can, because there is a lot of crap out there for over expensive, over things for. No, you were not missing anything. I don't know. Oh, Gloria said chat usually takes a day to show up. So there we go, Gloria. There we go. Michelle takes a day for that. So that's good to know. I would have blamed it on me. Just blame it on me. That's what I did. I was wondering that too. Sometimes so yeah, check tomorrow. All right. Yes. Yes. So TRW will be the main one, and then there's going to be nothing will change um, address wise. So everything will stay the same address wise. But like the Fat Dad Print Go will go in Fat Dad Custom Designs. Those will forward to the new section on the website. So TRW will be there. Where custom quotes and all that things come in. That'll be there for it. One of the questions that I did get asked today on things will like rhinestone transfers. Yes, those will be offered in a limited, very limited quantity as we get started with it, because we want to make sure that we have the process right for it. I told them that custom rhinestone transfers October 1st, just because I want to be safe and make sure that we have the process down, that everything is good with it. Oh, excuse me. So they'll be there. One of the other things, and let me run this by you. We get you guys here. You guys are our customers with it. We are the Rhinestone World, and of course, we love seeing you press with rhinestones. But I want to know if you were in this boat with me. I didn't find myself doing. While I love the way a rhinestone design looked, a particular design, there were times that I wouldn't buy it for a couple reasons. One is, let's say it's a couple layers of flock that I was gonna need, like 2 layers for it. So I've got the design, I've got to cut 2 flock templates for it, and then I got to buy the stones for it. All right. So now I make the one shirt, and I love the shirt. I love everything about it, but it doesn't sell. So now I have these stones. Then now I at least can add the stones to my inventory. I got a template that if I ever need it against there, then I have a shirt to show off. So one of the ideas I was thinking is, what if we did some kitting on things where, hey, here's the digital design for you. So you get the file, you get enough flock so you can cut the file. Well, the flock's not pre-cut, but you can cut the file. And then you get enough stones to be able to make 10 shirts. But then you also get a ready to press transfer of that file. So you get the rhinestone transfer, so you can press that on the shirt, and then you still have the blank flock. So if you sell shirts, great, you can make that more. You have enough stones to make 10 shirts. If you don't sell them, hey, those stones can go in the inventory. And then you have the file with it. So what do you think of doing something like that? Would that be something you guys would be interested in doing? Because in my head, it made sense, but you guys need you guys were ones that. No, it's I've got waterfront property somewhere. I've got snake. It's no, it no, it's trash. It is not real. It no, and there's nothing good about it. And one of the things that we talked about because I said I've been in DTF since it's not I can't say since its inception, but really since the beginning of it's really started getting there. I got started with it in early 2020, early mid 2020. So we've been at 5 years now, and we've seen the ups and downs. We started with the converted printers. We went commercial. Our first gen machine, it was a problem child. We've been through all the ups and downs with it. If you spray something, just hear me out on this. If I'm going to spray something on a design that's been pressed like here, this is DTF, and it's going to make this softer, what is it doing? How is it making it softer? It's degrading the print, right? Because how else can it make something softer? It's got to break it up so that way it's not going to magically feel softer. It's doing it by doing something to the print. So now we're taking the chance of that print not lasting as long. So I would not do it. What can you apply over DTF? Foil stones. Some foils you can get away with sometimes with DTF on DTF action. Stones always on the shirt. I've been putting stones on it. Stones, you need that contact of the shirt. I try not to put anything on it just because you can run into some issues sometimes. I always want the best adhesion possible, so I'll always go garment to DTF on it. Let's see. Uh, yeah, and that's the thing is, as we get through this, you guys tell us what you want it to be. You tell us. You get the questions in there. We go through that. Pilar, myself, maybe you and Crystal, we can get her in there to go over that stuff. This is your guys' show. You tell us what you want. But I know I'd probably say it was a 50-50 split of, if there's no questions there, we had a lot of chit chat. We had a lot of talks about business. We had a lot of talks about other things. As long as the questions are there, we'll keep it there. And if not, then we'll go into the business side of things. We'll talk about anything that you want to on that side of it. Let's see, direct linked and updated the Hall of Fame live. Thank you, Pilar. Good to see you, Jesse. What else here? Smart cookie. I like being able to post up on all of these. Good night. Night. No, Jerry's going to sleep. Yep, Jerry's going to sleep. Night, Jerry. Night there. Will you be adding training on DTF and white toner in the Hall of Fame? We can do whatever you guys want. As I said, it comes down to you guys. You guys ask the questions. We can do different webinars. We can do different thing. Different of the paid webinars, different of the questions that are asked in there, different on the Tuesdays, Todd. It's all on you guys. Like I said, TRW is as much of yours as it is mine. And before somebody says, well, hey, if it's mine, I want this. Well, then, hey, if you want that, then I need some money to pay TRW bills. It is not cheap to operate. But I want to give you guys the things that you're asking for, the value. I want you guys to walk away knowing that, if you're paying, the $30 a month for the wizard, that you got more than $30 worth of value in it. Same thing with the Hall of Fame trainings, the All-Star trainings, and that. I don't want there to be any question that it's not valuable to you, which is why I say, what's your time worth? If your time is worth $65 and over the course of that month, we saved you a half an hour, it paid for yourself. And oh, yes, you are getting designs, you're getting design bundles, you're getting credits, you're getting stuff like that. So we will get through it all there. Jerry, we'll get back on our regular schedule next week. Yeah, because for those that don't know, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Yeah, I stumbled on my words, which means 9:30 in the East, 7:30 in the mountains, and 6:30 on the West Coast. We do Makers and Movers podcast. That will be on here. We'll get back into that next week. And with that, we're kind of setting the day up for success. I want to know, what are 5 things that you're going to accomplish that day? I want to know who you are, where you're from, what's in your cup, and what the weather like in your area. We try and go in depth. We try and keep those about a half hour long. We go in depth on topics, with different business things. Like right now, it's going to be more, the school spirit wear type of things that we're going to talk about. Getting in with different clubs. That's very, focused that we go through with that for it. Less shirts and stones. Less shirts and stones. What do you mean less shirts and stones? Because we got shirts and stones now. For the right price. Yes, for the right price. The right price and deal. Skip on that magic seal BS. That's right. Um, you know this magic ones that press that I have seen softened up because it puts the texture in it, and so when you can use a textured sheet over it, it'll put it embedded there, and it goes more through. I did that same idea. Taught a couple classes and had a couple groups with the kits, files, flock, stones as part of the purchase. Yeah, I think it'll go off pretty well. I feel like I would have loved that when I first started out, not to have to buy full bags of rhinestone starting out would have been great too. Yeah, and that was our thing was like, how can we get people in it so you don't have to buy all the stuff, but there's enough stuff in there to make that, and it's not overly complicated. So, here's the one transfer for it. You can press the shirt. You know what it's supposed to look like, and if you sell them, you have the stuff to make the other things for it. And those kits, those same transfers that are in there, would be available for purchase. So if you didn't want to make them at all, you'd be able to purchase those transfers as well to be able to have them that way with it. So there depends on price, but you'd also have to choose the color stone for that design. That might make it harder to want to buy the design, and it could be. And so when we're looking at it, and a lot of it is going to be, really like theme based. Let's say we did something for Halloween. So your pumpkins, are going to be your orange and your green, and then there's going to be some purples and some greens. So staying with that same thing, Christmas time, and that's where I was really seeing it, where it would be that kit for that. And but once you get it, you can always change out the stuff that you want. So maybe we show a design, and the pumpkin or the candy cane is the traditional red and white candy cane, but you really like the green and white candy cane, so you order green stones to go with it. So you have the kit to do with what you want. But if you want to switch it up, I want you to switch it up. I want you to switch up. I want to see what you do with it and how you create it, because I think that is going to be, that's the thing that I always love. Kits like that would be helpful. Love it, love it, love it. Create kits with files we could produce without stones, and then sell upgrades to stones, and then utilize the kit. Create files with kits that we could produce without stones. How are you going to produce it without stones? And then we sell upgrades to stones and utilize the kit. Help me understand that, Keith. Because I'm open to anything. At the end of the day, I want you guys to make money. That's what I want. I want you guys to make money. That's what I want. Nope, you don't need to steal it. Yeah, you don't think you need to steal it at all. We use a Teflon cover sheet, and love it, love it, love it. I even gave my ladies a USB drive on the file and brushed it on transfer sheet about 3 years ago in Mobile, Alabama. Very nice. Very, very nice. Felt lonely over there all by myself. I sing badly. Hi, it's Jeff, 69 in order to got Diet Coke. Oh, wait, wrong line. That is Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning, Jeff. But thank you for doing that, Jeff. No, I like having the whole. No, I like having the whole and making my own choices as to how they create the rhinestone design for the shirt. Yeah, and that's where when we look at it, how was it getting started in it? I needed when I got started with it. Lisa helped me, and she got me like, here's what you need to do. Like here's do this, go with that, and I'm like, oh, so then I can change this however I want. So we're looking at ways to be able to get around it. And Pilar says I've tested adding rhinestones around ETF. It works, but let that acrylic pattern. Yes, it does have to cool completely. Ooh, and Barb says embroidery and rhinestones go very well together. We have to bring Barb on board. Barb's my embroidery expert on that. I say every day I want an embroidery machine just to learn and just to know how to do it. And she looks at me like I'm crazy every time. But I need to see some of those rhinestones and embroidery things that you got rock and rolling. That's what I want to see. Uh, let's see. I'm hoping to turn to the next Hall of Fame with wizard questions, but I'm traveling, so it's questionable. Are those going to your times days? Yes, yeah. I think that we're going to stick the same on that, where it's going to be that Tuesday, Thursday, Friday type thing for that Tuesday, Thursday. Excuse me. Thursday one could move Thursday or Friday. Sometimes things happen. For the most part, that's we're going to try and keep it as every Tuesday, Thursday with it, to go along with it. Let's see. No one has rhinestones here in Mobile except for Michael's or Hobby Lobby, but they did design. I pressed them for them on the items they brought to class. Lots of happy folks. Awesome. I love that. Um, in the kit, less shirts and stones. Yes. So no, the stones. So in that kit, you would have, because you would just have enough stones to make that design 10 times. You'd have the enough template material, enough flock to cut the design, and then you'd have the digital design, of course. But then you'd also have the rhinestone transfer, so you could just make one of them, and then you could decide on it. So I think that's where we got to go. Great. Good night, Michelle. Thanks for checking in. Yes, please post what you make in the new designs in the group. I love seeing it all. I want you guys to be so involved with it. I remember when there would be hundreds of posts a day in the group, and that's what I want to get back to. So that's why I've been posting more and more in it, because I want you guys to post more and more in it from there. And then check out all the new designs that we go there. But I'm at the club where you get a digital file of the flock and the stones to put on a shirt. It's kind of the same thing where we could do that, like a subscription based thing for it. We could name it. There's a lot of different ways to do it, and this way it was like it's kind of that same thing. You are very welcome, very very welcome. Rhinestone kits, I like that. Maybe a multi-deck. Yeah, we could do a whole lot of things with it, and to show them off in the lives and bring that into it. So it would definitely be good to go with it. Barb is so right. Cindy's gonna love some of the stuff we got planned that we do. I remember FaceTime with you working through making that first rhinestone shirt. Yes, yes, yes. It was scary. It was scary. That's why I said I'm a lot like you guys, where I didn't know how to do it. I just learned, and we just went through it, put on from there. So we got through it together. We'll do that. We have the Caesar strip frock clothes. I'm not even repeating. Yes, Barb, we will have that. We will have that. So we're keeping the Caesar products for sure. Some of the Color Spark stuff, we're seeing if we can get through it and go from there with it. But that's what I got for you guys tonight. I love chit chatting with you. I love keeping these things rocking and rolling, and pushing things through, and just having a good time with it. So going forward, Hall of Fame on Thursday, All Star on Friday. Then I believe we'll do morning. We'll have our makers and movers on Monday, Wednesday, Friday next week. Wednesday, All Star training again. I think we might move that All Star. We might move that one 2 weeks out and then get into it next month. I'll work with the girls on what we have going on and how to make that one work. But we're going to try and stay really consistent on the things for it. And as always, I love you guys. Thank you, so much for showing up to these, for helping us out with it, providing us our ideas. If there's things that you have questions, comment, concerns about, let us know. That's what we're here for. It. We'll be back in our office next week, and then we have a couple weeks of chaos as stuff comes in. We've got a couple commercial spaces that we're looking at next week. Corey scheduled those up while we're gone. We got packing to do the rest of this week. Um, I've been trying to get videos of stuff that we've taken it down, but that was just taking too much time as we were going through it. So as we're unpacking stuff, we'll make sure we're going to try and make sure that we have videos of every stone set, so you can see what it looks like. It's there to be able to help with that. We are going to take everything you say and listen. May not happen, There are some things that are just going to be, a firm no. But thanks for the suggestion on it. At the end of the day, there's a couple things I just asked for you. Is if you don't like something, let us know, but do it kindly. If you are harassing our people on things, that's not good. Let I don't know how better to say this than you are not the only customer. There are a ton of customers. There's a ton of customers that come every day. And if you don't hear something back in 5 minutes, it doesn't mean they're ignoring you. It just means that we're busy with things and everybody is getting through it as best that they can. We have a transition period of about a month that we figure where some things might just take a little longer to do. And we're going to do our best to go through it and put it there. We want, we want the family to be a family, and so we need to be able to do this. And yes, like this, like, come on, they Leave them alone on their off time. Like harassing them on their personal accounts. Come on. Like, and I am really bad about that now too, because there's people I talk to now that I'm like, they're now asking questions like, that's a customer service question. I said, we would have conversations about everything else, and now you're asking business questions to me. So let's try and not do that. Just be kind. Yeah, right here. Jocelyn said, great. Be kind and practice patience. Hey, that's all we want for it. So, I appreciate you guys showing up here tonight. Hopefully, you learned, something. If you guys have questions about me and what we do and how any of that, I'm pretty much an open book. We've had the ups and downs, we've had the ins and outs, we've done all of it, and we've got the battle scars to prove it. So, you're not alone in this journey. I'm here as a living, breathing, still a real person, fact to show you that, hey, we started, out of a spare room and we grew it and we bought the Rhinestone World. So things can happen, folks. Things can happen. Dude, French toast, hundo. French toast, a hundo. French toast. I'm a French toast over pancakes. I'll eat pancakes, but French toast. Of course not. Of course not, Renee. Of course you didn't know. Get chicken notifications. All right. You guys have an amazing night. Like I said, we'll do these on Tuesdays. 8 in the east, 7 in the central, 6 in the mountains, 5 Pacific is when we'll do these on Tuesdays. Tuesday the Todd's is back. Give us a couple weeks and we'll start making things, but just we'll have conversational things through it. We'll keep you updated. Next Tuesday will be kind of the process of how we got to where we were. On this everything that's happened this week. The obstacles that we had to overcome, why things happened the way they did. Because stuff's going to be in transit. So, just the stuff to go through that. There'll be a part of that, but then we're also going to talk some mini packs because we're going to drop those. Like I said, I'm working through those with the girls because, hey, I don't know how to set up the stuff on the back end of the system yet. So I just can't say, make it happen. But if I say, hey, we need it to happen by next Tuesday, then we can make that stuff happen. And so I think we've got enough to do. We got 3 of those set up where we can do those the next 3 weeks and talk about those and show how to do different things. So looking forward to showing you that type of thing and get with it. So until next time, you guys have an amazing night. Peace, love, press on. We'll see you then. I gotta hit that other button. That's right. No, I don't have to hit that button. That's the button I gotta hit. I gotta hit the outro. I need to make a new outro. What should we have on the outro? Because this is the Makers and Movers outro. So we gotta make a TRW one. We'll see you.